And so I said, Christian, just don't suppress your emotions. Allow yourself to be upset. And I did that. Somebody hit me. My cheek hurts. And now I'm like, hey, you know what? My cheek really hurts. I might need some ice. And it's like,
what do you need ice for? Just walk it off.
don't hide in the nonchalance, the performative nonchalance where you're only lying to yourself. What is bothering me is bothering me. And I think I rightfully have a reason to be bothered. Mon chéri, mon chéri. It was giving, I wanted to be French, but I'm in Italy. Like, good after. That's how disoriented I am. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Let me put on can I get some background ambiance? Because it's already a serious topic, and I need a little bit of support. Okay. So, I either need to get the remote and turn it down. Yeah. So, I woke up crying hysterically. And this has happened to me before, multiple times. And the earliest I can remember me waking up from a dream crying, I think I was 6. I think I was like 6. And so I'll explain what happened in the dream and pretty much how I interpret it. So in the dream, I have a dance performance. So I'm performing a dance. There we go. I am performing a dance at a church. And at the church, I finish dancing and I come off of the stage and I'm trying to change. I'm trying to get out of my costume and get into my streetwear / outside clothes. And so in the dream, I didn't have a designated dressing room where I could change from my costume into my street clothes or my outside clothes. And so I just started going into rooms that were semi-empty, if they only had like one person in there. And I stopped in this lady's room who was doing tech for service. So she was the one, she had an in-ear, like, oh my gosh, like this it really describes like how vivid my dreams are. So she had an in-ear in her ear. So she had all of the pastor who was teaching that Sunday, everything he was saying was going into her ear. So she had like a presentation on her computer, and she also had a projector in her room. And when the pastor said, hey, these are the announcements for this week, she would like quickly have a quick turnaround to go into her computer and make sure it was projecting onto the screen properly and also was the correct slide, so that the members of the church could see the announcements, right? So when I came off the stage from performing, I went into that room and I was trying to change. And it was a lady, and she said, "Good job" to me, but she said "miss," and then she called me my mom's maiden name hyphenated with my name. And I said, I told her that wasn't my last name. And I think I said, like, thank you so much. I appreciate, like, all of your support in regard to my performance. But that's not my last name. And so there ended up being a couple more exchanges verbally. And when the topic came up again, she basically said that I was being rude by correcting her, because when she called me my mom's maiden name hyphenated with my last name, I took a deep breath and I was like, actually that's not my last name. So I took a deep breath, and then she said something like, you acted all annoyed when I called you I called you the name. And then I started crying, because I was trying to talk to her about, like, when I corrected you, it was not to be intentionally heinous, and it wasn't a personal attack. It's just factual occurrences that are not on any of my identity proofers, if you know what I mean. You know that B or C you need 2, that I-9, B or C you need 2, category A you need 1. It's not on there like that. And so when I said, hey, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's not my name. And for me to just share that information with you, and for you to get an attitude, and when I'm trying to talk to you about it, like, she said something to me that was like, oh, I don't have time for this conversation because I need to be paying attention to what the pastor's saying so that I can, I guess, do her tech job. So then I start crying in the dream. And I start crying. And it's not the type where you let a couple tears fall and then you dry your tears. I was crying, and it wasn't loud. However, it was at a level where she knew I was crying. And at a certain point, it's just like, okay, service is going on. So I can't wail. Or I could. I was like, if anybody sees me crying, they might just say, oh, the Holy Spirit has come over her. So I did feel like it would be okay to be seen crying in that setting. However, it's just like, I didn't want any more external stimuli. So at a certain point, I faced a corner. I just face a corner in the room and I'm still crying. And I was trying to rationalize how this interaction made me so upset. And in the dream, I said, I was just reassuring myself mentally that the fact that I'm crying in front of her and she's not either realizing how deeply how she was speaking to me and what she said, how it affected me. I think it caused me to see that her personality type, like, it wasn't maybe one that receives correction well, or knows or has the emotional intelligence to understand that what I was expressing to her was not an attack. And so I said, Christian, just don't suppress your emotions. Allow yourself to be upset. And I did that. And so I woke up because I was like, I am crying a long time. I woke up from the dream and my pillow was soaked and I was doing like that like that type of cry. So I am interpreting the dream. I'm interpreting the dream as a representation of how I feel guilty in my waking life for either telling people how I feel, telling the truth. Like in this dream, it was a factual statement, you know? So yeah, I think in my waking life, overall having a feeling of guilt for being vocal about either how I feel, how other people's words and behaviors have affected me, and being met with behaviors that caused me to feel that I am problematic and that I am too much, quote unquote, emotionally, which I don't think I am too much emotionally. I think I have a reasonable reaction to being dehumanized. And so it's something to pay attention to because it is a reoccurring theme, and the outcome of me being vocal about my feelings often leads to repression, emotional repression. And so it's very difficult because when you're the only person validating your feelings, it's not reassuring. It's not reassuring because it's everybody telling you, or multiple people behaving in ways that belittle your emotions, and me as an individual being the only person that is validating. It just makes you feel like, should I just, like, maybe they're right. Maybe I am being too emotional, or maybe I am not looking at this perspective in the right way. Just more self-invalidation. So, this dream has been, I think it was the meditation music. I think I left YouTube on when I went to sleep, and when I woke up from the dream, I had on meditation music, and some of the meditation music, it kind of soothes your brain, and allows certain emotions to be expressed. So I will be keenly aware of ways in which I belittle my own emotions, because it's evident that suppressing them is not healthy. However, my feelings are based on factual events. I don't wake up and say, you know what? The way that apple was so soft at the grocery store, I'm just kind of feeling like it's gonna rain today. It's like somebody hit me and my cheek hurts. And now I'm like, hey, you know what? My cheek really hurts. I might need some ice. And it's like, what do you need ice for? Just walk it off. So that's a wonderful analogy. So that's where I'm at. I don't really mind crying. I think it is illuminating to me that what is bothering me is in fact bothering me. There is no don't hide in the nonchalance, the performative nonchalance where you're only lying to yourself. What is bothering me is bothering me. And I think I rightfully have a reason to be bothered. So, yeah, I'm going to go prep for the day and do my gua sha, because now my eyes are going to be puffy all day. I don't mind crying. It's a nice emotional release. However, my eyes are going to be puffy today, and tomorrow, oh my gosh, tomorrow morning, oof. So I'm about to go get ready for the day because I am all disoriented. So